You know that feeling when you snag a bargain pellet grill on a flash sale site, only to discover a week later that the temperature drifts like a lazy river and you spend more time fighting the machine than actually cooking? I've been there, and it's why I pause before throwing any cheap alternative into the backyard. The regret isn't just the wasted cash, it's the ruined weekend dinner and the lingering doubt that maybe I should have saved up for something better. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. And today I'm going to break down whether the Traeger Ironwood actually lives up to its premium price tag or if it's another shiny promise that fades once you fire it up. First off, the biggest hurdle with pellet grills is consistency. Most entry-level units claim smart temperature control but rely on a simple thermostat that can swing 5 to 10 degrees in a matter of minutes. The Ironwood, on the other hand, pairs that claim with Traeger's WiFIRE app, which lets you set a target temperature from your phone and watch the grill adjust in real time. In practice, that means you can walk away to tend to the kids or grab a beer while the grill does the fine-tuning for you. I tested the low and slow chicken wings at 165°F and the high heat sear on a ribeye at 500°F. The app reported a stable temperature within a 2-degree window the whole time, and the food turned out exactly as the recipe expected: no hot spots, no surprise flare-ups. That kind of reliability is the kind of thing you only see on higher-end models, and it's the reason the Ironwood feels less like a gamble and more like a small kitchen appliance that finally made its way outside. Now, the 6-in-1 label sounds like marketing fluff until you actually put the grill through a day of varied cooking. In my test run, I used it as a smoker for a brisket, a grill for burgers, an oven for a peach cobbler, a rotisserie for a whole chicken, a sear station for a steak, and even a low-heat dehydrator for homemade jerky. The key here is the Super Smoke mode, which injects an extra burst of wood flavor during the first half hour of any cook. For the brisket, that extra smoke gave the bark a deeper, richer hue that you usually only get after a full day in a commercial smokehouse. For the cobbler, the same mode added a subtle caramelized note that made the dessert taste like it had spent a night in a wood-smoked pantry. The versatility is real, but it does come with a hidden trade-off. Each function draws on the same pellet hopper, so if you're planning a marathon cook-off, you'll need to keep an eye on the pellet level and refill more often than you would with a dedicated smoker or rotisserie. The hopper holds 20 pounds, which is generous for most weekend projects but can feel limiting if you're feeding a crowd of 20. Cleaning is another practical pain point that many cheap grills gloss over. Traeger built an easy clean grease and ash keg that slides out from the bottom, and you can dump the residue into a trash bag without touching hot metal. In a real-world scenario, after the brisket finished, I pulled the keg out, gave it a quick shake, and the ash fell away cleanly. The grease tray, however, still required a manual scrape because the drippings tend to caramelize on the metal surface. That's not a deal-breaker, but it does mean you'll spend a few extra minutes scrubbing after the very smoky, very greasy jobs. If you're someone who loves the flavor but hates the mess, expect to allocate that cleanup time. Who should consider putting the Ironwood on their patio? If you're a backyard enthusiast who enjoys experimenting with different cooking styles, smoking, grilling, baking, dehydrating, and you value the convenience of remote temperature control, this grill hits the sweet spot. It's also a solid fit for families who want to prep meals ahead of a big gathering. You can set the grill to low and let it work while the kids finish homework. The WiFIRE app's recipe library and preset programs can guide newcomers through the process, turning a potentially intimidating piece of equipment into something approachable. On the flip side, if you're primarily looking for a single-purpose grill, say, you just want to throw a few burgers on a hot plate once a week, or you're on a strict budget, the Ironwood may feel over-engineered. A basic propane grill will get you there for a fraction of the price, and you won't be missing out on any essential function unless you truly need the low and slow smoke profiles. Practical strengths are clear: stable temperature across a wide range, multifunction cooking without swapping equipment, and the convenience of app-driven control. The Super Smoke mode gives you a flavor boost that's hard to replicate without a dedicated smoker. The Easy Clean keg simplifies one of the messiest parts of pellet cooking. Weaknesses, though subtle, matter. The need to monitor pellet levels during long sessions can be a nuisance, especially if you're cooking for